Every time I head out with my kids to check cows, I can't help but be grateful for the opportunity I have to live on our ranch and to raise cattle as a family. And as we've met the regional winners of the 20th Annual Environmental Stewardship Awards these past few weeks, it's clear that family is one important reason these folks have for the work they do every day to care for the land, the water, and their cattle. Now let's trek to eastern Utah and meet the Jensen family, your Region VI award winners.
Standing at nearly 10,000 feet, it seems you can see forever on the Tavaputs Ranch. Located in eastern Utah, the ranch covers more than 350,000 acres of private, state, and federal lands. And the family roots here go back to the 1880s.
Yes, 1889. My great-grandparents came into this part of the country down in Desolation Canyon and started the beginning of the ranch.
Desolation Canyon, that's over my shoulder there, that's where the home ranch was back then, McPherson's. It was the main thoroughfare from Robbers Roost to Browns Park. All Butch Cassidy and the Wild Bunch traveled through there. Traded horses a lot with my family. A lot of history right there.
I think it's just special to be here to follow in everybody's footsteps. It's pretty neat to be the 5th generation here on the ranch and just do what my grandparents were doing.
We run about 1,200 cows, cow-calf operation. We summer on these high plateau mountain ranges in the summertime. We winter out on these deserts here in southeastern Utah.
With a well-managed cow herd, Tavaputs Ranch is going strong under the leadership of Butch and Jeannie Jensen, along with their son Tate and daughter Jenny. Just as it was done a century ago, they trail their cows from the desert winter range to summer on the Tavaputs Plateau.
This terrain here, it's pretty unforgiving, so it's pretty much everything on a horse still, and the cattle, they know where they're going. They like to come, but yeah, you still have to do everything on horseback.
It's really unique that you have a 30-mile cow drive today. These cattle never see a semi-truck. They trail back and forth. The mileage isn't as impressive as the elevation change. They winter at about 6,000 feet, have to go over a 8,400-foot pass, back into Range Creek, which is about 7,000 feet, and then on up here, up and over 9,600 feet. There's a lot of elevation change in that many miles.
Sharing the story of cattle ranching and caring for the land, as well as adding to their income, is one reason the Jensens have long opened Tavaputs Ranch to guests who take in the natural beauty and get a taste of the cowboy way.
We cater to guests from all around the world, from family retreats to, Range Creek tours to anything like that. And I guess my main job is making sure their bellies are full and making sure that they're treated like family.
We meet wonderful folks, and they truly enjoy coming to a real working cattle ranch. A lot of them get to herd cows while they're here with us. We have a beautiful herd of wildlife, the mule deer and elk, and they'll get to see a bear once in a while.
Wildlife is plentiful on Tavaputs Ranch, especially as the Jensen family has worked to develop ponds to control invasive sagebrush and manage the land to keep the forage in peak condition.
All you got to do is drive across this ranch, and you can tell by the vegetation, that we haven't been abusing this land, that we're taking care of it.
It's all in really good shape in terms of how its potential to produce a variety of forage and be a good habitat for animals of all kinds. And that's pretty much the index for me in terms of its stewardship.
I think the biggest thing that we talk about is our not using every blade of grass, every AUM. You've got to have the buffer zones. It seems like the drought is the norm, not the exception around here, and you really have to plan for it.
The Jensens have worked closely with Utah State, NRCS, and other partners to improve their land and forage.
And they've approached a group that we've partnered with, the Skyline Cooperative Weed Management Area, to control musk thistle on their rangeland. It's a noxious weed that's invaded their rangeland in some areas.
And from installing cross fences to manage grazing, to preserving groves of quaking aspen, they don't overlook any aspect of stewarding their land.
The land has just got to be the first priority. You can't do anything if the land isn't in good shape. If you overgraze it, it's going to be gone before you know it. That's the thing the grandparents, passed down through the years. If you're overgrazing, you're going to be a short-term rancher. You've got to be in it for the long haul. You've got to be thinking ahead. You got to be making good management decisions. It's going to be good this year, next year, and 20 years from now.
Though Tavaputz Ranch is vast, the Jensen family is continually working on the details that allow their cattle and the environment to thrive together.
I've had wonderful, not just my mom and dad, but my both sets of grandparents have instilled that in both Tate and I to take care of the land and save it for the future.
I think that's a testament to what we're doing here, that it can withstand the generations and the test of time. There's been a lot of changes here since 1889, but we're still running cattle in the Tavaputz Plateau.
I think it was instilled in Butch and I from our parents and from my grandparents, you know, to take care of the land, and I feel like we're doing a good job.
Throughout our family's history, you know, it was always taught us that, you know, if you don't take care of the land, it's not going to take care of you. You know, we're not in it for just a short time, make some money thing. You got to look down the road and try to maintain it for future generations.
Always, you can check out stories just like this one on our website, cattlemen2cattlemen.org, or try us on Facebook. Just search NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen.